Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
This movie is incredible. I loved it so much. We're not going to waste any time. One of the best scenes of this movie, I can't wait for people to see in the living room, just chatting and just back and forth. You talked about it at the premiere yesterday. I mean, I want to know, like, was there a game plan for this scene? Like, did you just go in and, like, do that? It's one of the best things I've seen.
What can I do that's going to piss Alex off? That's it. Everything down to, like, the way that, the way that I'm sitting, right? Yeah. Like, I should be sitting much more formally, and I'm sitting like he is a guest and it's my home. Yeah. So just, like, the basics of that. I thought that the design of the scene was really cool. The reveal in the scene is really cool. Best, yeah. But most importantly for me, I had a really, really wonderful scene partner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To add to that too, it's interesting that we really kind of learn, like we see you in the first movie, but we really dive in now. So from a storytelling perspective, what was that like, kind of learning a lot more about this character for the second film?
It was just great to see him grow, because in the first one, he's just a petty officer, and then now he's Sergeant King, and having to tackle this canine unit that he thoroughly believes in was a ton of fun, and absolute power trying to gain that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wanted to ask you specifically. I'm a big pro wrestling fan. You're a big pro wrestling fan. Yep. Heels was one of my favorites as well. Loved it. With this specifically, with your character, with these ups and downs and everything, does it feel sometimes like with Garrett, like being like a wrestler in regards to like cutting promos?
He's the heel. He's the heel because he really does care about his people. It's just if you're not his people, he doesn't care about you at all. But at the very least, if nothing else, he's honest. Yeah. Right? You don't have to like what he does, but I mean, he's not a hypocrite.
It was a ping pong match with this. Like, I was like, are you nice or are you not? And
I care about the collective.
Yes.
Right? But if I will sacrifice one to save many, which is not something that a lot of people have the moral ability to entertain. I do. I don't think I would in real life.
Yeah.
Hopefully never find out.
No, that's a fair point. Every time you make a new movie, it's like, how are we going to make it bigger? How are we going to make it better? Mission accomplished with this one. This is incredible. Good. The thing that like really was part of that recipe, in my opinion, from a viewer, was these canine dogs, like these robots. So I want to know, when you first found out about it, whether it was from a conversation with anyone or from a script, what was going through your mind when that was kind of a big part of the storyline for the second film?
I think I text Jeff, and Chris was like, people are going to think you're part of the Illuminati or some sort of like Simpsons kind of predicting thing. Because along the way, robot dogs started policing. They started putting them out there. And I'm like, oh man, our timing is great.
The sound of this movie, just the sound.
Would
you give a shout out to the sound team?
Yeah, really. Listen, the sound editors, the composer, Jeff. I know Jeff was probably at the TIFF Lightbox Theater last night, making sure that the sound was right for the movie. He cares about that a great deal. Listen, everyone that's involved in this from a technical aspect, they care so much. I mean, the question earlier about the canines, like when I first read about it, I was like, man, Play Fight and our VFX team, I'm like, they're feeling themselves because this is an undertaking.
It definitely, like, it just was one of my favorite things, and I can't wait for people to see it worldwide on Netflix this week. Is that crazy to think about?
It's mental.
It's unbelievable. And like when you're making like this movie that it's like a popcorn like Saturday night movie on Netflix, like is there like, what is your favorite thing about making those specific ones? Like the ones that are like the high pace, like with heels, like those things.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we just go into a scene and we sit with Jeff and we try to come up with ideas. Like for example, like the knife on the cutting board, right? That might have been in the script. That might have been like an idea that we had on the day. It's all about making a scene that is true to the story so that there's a connective tissue throughout the movie, but then ultimately, is it cool, right? Are you watching it and is it making you want to eat more popcorn? Absolutely. Like I destroyed my popcorn within the first 15 minutes of the movie last night, which actually might be a me thing. But
absolutely. No, for sure. It's a popcorn movie. Worldwide this week on Netflix, Code 8 Part 2. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.